They're the incredible explorers who trekked the highest and most remote mountains in the world to fundraise for World Vision and Movember. Not only were they physically and mentally challenged, but Mother Nature took this test to the next level.
So we just started walking and we're literally hearing landslides crumbling around us, like full-on whole chunks of hill just falling off. With, as you can see, quite large boulders. It's pretty disconcerting, like we are here to push ourselves, but we're not really here to die or get taken out by a boulder. Well, we've had multiple obstacles to just merely get to this point, and I don't think this is the end of them either. It's very hard to know what decision to make.
Wow, this is unbelievable. Yeah, Samantha Gash and Dr. Jessie Ling, who unfortunately wasn't able to be with us today. She made it. She's just, her schedule was completely booked, yeah.
She's okay.
That's it. They're the legends who crossed the Great Himalayan Trail. Sam joined us now. Welcome to the show, mate. You are an absolute legend. Everything you do blows my mind. I think you're so fantastic. Talk us through that video there, because you were stranded at times. You didn't have any Sherpas with you. Roads changed. How dangerous just was that trek?
More than I imagined.
Yes.
When I was forecasting, like creating the safety plan, you know, you think about things in like kind of a risk mitigation perspective. You're like, okay, bad weather, altitude sickness, blisters, gut issues, which is what Jessie has now, why she can't be here. But just didn't imagine that the monsoon season had ended and then it all of a sudden came back in a really aggressive way. The entire country of Nepal got hit with like torrential rain. And, I mean, Denise, you've been to Nepal, so you know how fragile that landscape is.
It is.
That, like, footage that you saw before, it's just, like, we pulled that out when we felt a little bit safe. But, like, boulders were coming down, roads were breaking apart, there was cracks. You have this, like, mentality as, like, a runner. Oh, we can find a path, like, we can go that way.
You can't.
Every day for 5 days in the pouring rain, we'd put on our clothes and we'd go like, we can get out of this. And then we got stopped and locals were like, you've got to get into our house, and giving us masala cheer and cookies.
Isn't that amazing? Because, you were hiking for sort of 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
So where did you sleep? Where did you get supplies in sort of remote parts of Nepal? And did you get to have a shower?
You know the answer to that. I still smell. OK, so where did we sleep? I mean, physically it was really hard, like 10 to 12 hours a day, sometimes up to actually 14 hours, and on average 2,000 metres of climbing per day, carrying all the supplies that we really needed in a pack on our back, a 40-litre pack, so really minimal. And we'd finish our distance, which we had to navigate our entire way, and then we had to find a place to sleep. It's not like we prepped it on Airbnb. It's like the adventure actually started when we had to kind of meet some of our basic needs of accommodation, you know, shelter, getting food in places where they don't see Westerners, that no one speaks English. We learned a little bit of Nepali.
Do they get surprised when you come around the corner and they go... like...
Seeing two women. Absolutely. Like two women who, you know, I think we looked quite strong, but we're small.
You're little.
We're little women. And
you
we're
haven't got a Sherpa with you, which anybody that treks and does anything, you know, is surrounded by Sherpas, and there's the two of you on your own without help.
We're always smiling. We bumped into this American hiker on point and he goes, oh, you look like girl guides on acid. Because we were always smiling. So that was a challenging part. Like, we mentally had to always be on. We had to make every single decision for our well-being. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, you know, you've got to make decisions also thinking that you're a mum of a 4-year-old. Like, don't put yourself in something that you think that you can't get out of. And how do you know if you can get out of something when it's just all the unknown?
Yeah, right. When were you really smiling all the time, though? Because at one point you had a tick on you. We're going to look
oh, gosh.
You don't look like you're smiling there.
To her tummy, and both of us are pretty shagged after a really long day, and we're having mental blanks about how on earth you get a tick out. Neither of us have ever had one before. Tried burning it, didn't really work. We're trying salt.
Trying to drown it in salt.
I think there's a low chance of success, but hey, we're trying anything because no one's awake and we have no reception.
Funny smile you have there, Jess.
What happened with that tick? I want to know. Because they're terrible. Did it just come off?
I've got it. No. It did not come off, and Dr. Jessie Ling, although she's incredibly talented, none of us could remember how to get rid of a tick. We had
So it's not salt?
It's definitely not salt.
Okay, because I would have thought... yeah,
She also
maybe
got
not.
like a match and like tried to burn it off.
No.
Does not work, everyone.
I've done that with the cat's had a tick.
Yeah,
I just pulled it off.
So you've got to...
But you've got to make sure you get the underneath bit.
It's funny how, like, things go wrong when already so many other things have gone wrong. That was our hardest day on the trail.
Yeah,
that was our longest day of over 14 hours. We got up to 5,200 metres that day in altitude.
Wow.
And as much training as you do, like, my body just did not tolerate being at over 5,000 metres.
Yeah, no.
So it was a slog. Snow, and then as we were descending down, we had to descend 1,400 metres in 7 kilometres. And I'm like, awesome, we get to go down. But we had no tread left on our shoes, so we were slipping all over the place. It's pitch black, and then all of a sudden we hear an avalanche coming down.
Oh, God almighty.
And I remember Jessie and I just going, oh my gosh, is it coming to us? We finally get down, it's really late. These incredibly beautiful Nepalese stayed up to give us some food, get into bed, and all of a sudden I'm lying down, have a little sleep, and I'm like,
Oh, then the tick.
there's something not quite right with my stomach, and put my hand down my sleeping bag, and there's this thing stuck inside me. It took us over an hour for her to get it out of my tummy, and I still feel a little lump, so doctor's appointment, pending.
Yes,
Mate.
I think so, because you've only just come
got
back,
back.
haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, I think you've done an absolutely incredible thing, and you've raised money for people and
For World Vision?
unbelievable.
World Vision,
That was,
great initiative.
it's the important part for us. We actually got to visit the beneficiaries.
Oh, did you?
Before we started, which I think is so great. If you're going to do...
There's your inspo.
Exactly, and it gave a lot of perspective. Like, we went into these very remote villages in a town called Chisapani and got to meet some incredibly resilient women and young girls who deal with issues of, taboo cultures related to menstruation, hard access to basic healthcare, education. So it
And
was
the
great.
ones that walk about 5 miles to get
yes,
the water and then walk back with it on their head. Unbelievable.
Your fundraising with World Vision will make a remarkable difference in those communities. And in fact, if you'd like to support the girls, seeing what they went through to do this, head to resilienceinmotion.com.au and hit the support button. Sam, we're always just in awe of your incredible achievements. Thanks for being here today.
Such a pleasure.
Great to have you back, and you smell great. Fair play.